we allow it. We allow the situation where men get tired of the moaning and the groaning and the whinging, and they go elsewhere. That doesn't mean it's right. No, men also have a part to play in this. Men also need to take responsibility of thinking differently.
Okay.
So how do we get the men to think differently? We had to take responsibility of teaching our men, showing our men that they need to think differently, that they have to come from a different place, that they have to look at life from a different place. Because again, they've got the conditioning that a man is macho, etc.,
strong, doesn't cry, and all of that. And so what do men talk about when they get together? Because it's always thought that when men get together, they have this constructive discussions about my finances. Why don't women meet and talk like that? Not true?
Not true.
Men gossip as well?
Men gossip. I mean, I've done workshops where I've got men in a room, 30, 35 men, and I've turned around and said, okay, how many gossip? And all the hands went up, and I went like, this can't be true. Is this reality? They do the same thing. They do the same thing. And in fact, now I think that has become a safety net for them. Because if they gossip, then they're informed. They know if my friend's wife said something, the information comes back. So I got to be careful so my wife doesn't find out. Okay. So it's become this catch-22 situation, and it's quite funny. It's not only funny; it's also quite sad that people have to go out to get information instead of being able to communicate with each other.
Exactly. Instead of going around the back way. In the past, we've had a woman standing for president in this country. Argentina has a female president, you know, Liberia. Are we at that point yet where all women in this country, do you think, would be able to stand up and say, we think this woman is the one, without immediately pulling it down and say, oh, she's not right for the job, or just because she's a woman? You know, feminism. And do you see that part?
We still have time before the next election.
A few years.
We have time to change mindsets. Women really, really have to start taking responsibility for their wives, for where their lives are at, and changing their mindsets. If we start converting the unhealthy ways to healthy ways, there's nothing that's not possible. For me, anything is a possibility. And so it is possible based on the fact that some work needs to be done. Some personal work needs to be done. And that personal work needs to be done conscientiously, consciously. And this is not just women. This is for men as well. So it's so important that as a people, we start thinking from a different place in order to get the changes we want, in order to select real leaders to lead the country. We have politicians mainly currently now. We actually don't have leaders, because leaders don't think about themselves first. They think about their people. So we all have to take responsibility. This is not something that's going to happen by women changing only. This is a collective. Men need to change their ways as well. So if we want a female president, we also need the men to vote for a woman.
Indeed. Indeed. Is it right for a woman to vote for another simply because she's a woman?
Not necessarily. What's the criteria? Do we talk about the criteria of a president? Or do we talk about what values they're going to live, show, share with the people? Do we talk about the qualities we want in a leader? We don't. We don't. Someone comes, throws some money, convinces us that they're wearing the right type of clothes, they're portraying the right image, so they need to be voted. And they're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and doesn't happen. They promise the world, they deliver an empty bag of air, right? So we don't have a criteria on selection. What is important? What are the qualities? What is the value system that a leader must possess and live and share? It doesn't mean that we stop at, okay, you know, the quality is the person is honest. If the person says they're honest, are they actually living it?
So it's not just because she's a woman.
No.
And I'm a woman, and we need more women in leadership, so...
No. That's not going to solve our problems.
It won't.
That will not solve our problems. We need to get the criteria of selection. It's so important. We've been selecting politicians. We've been selecting so-called leaders, because they're not really leaders. Some are. But we've been selecting them because of the wrong reasons. We don't even know them. We don't know what their lives are about. Okay. So it's time to change that mindset.
All right. Let's move to the office setting briefly. A woman boss, a woman subordinate, they'll never get along. True?
No.
They can get along?
They can.
What is the problem there? Because when you have a male boss, for example, and a female subordinate, that works. Or if it's, reversed, that the woman's the boss and, she's leading a team of men, no problems there. But you have a woman leading a group of women, and there's a problem. Are we threatened by women in leadership, strong women? Could that be the reason why we don't want the other to succeed?
I think, again, that's a stereotype that people think that's the way it is. I don't think it is. I think personally, I've had more battles sometimes with men than women, only because why are you getting somewhere? You're a woman. You might want to know your place. You might not want to say what you say and
yes.
not say it so loud.
Okay.
So I think it's not really true that women don't get along. I think that there are situations where women don't get along, and there are also situations where women do, because women are starting to wake up to the fact that, solidarity, understanding, because women can understand each other.
That's what's assumed, that if I have a female boss, that she will understand me, or if I'm the female boss, that I will understand my juniors.
But it doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work.
Doesn't always work.
You will probably get more understanding from a man about women's issues at the workplace.
Why? Because it's insecurity. If you pull that cord, it's the insecurity factor. If she does a good job, she might rise up, and then I have competition. It's the negative competition all the time. Why do we not encourage women? Why do we not uplift women? And honesty is something people have a real issue with. So sometimes it's a mindset as well, that I have a female boss and she's going to push me down.
Okay.
So we got.
So you start creating an attitude, and then it comes out. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So we don't give each other a chance even before we start sometimes. And there is truth that there are scenarios where it doesn't work. But there is so much likelihood for it to work if we just think different.
Okay. All right. Let's take a call. Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Shala.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your television.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Okay. We're having trouble hearing you, but could we try this again? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
I want to ask a question. Because I'm married with 2 kids. And it's like, me and my husband, we don't have a relationship. Actually, he comes in the morning, in the evening, he eats, he goes to bed. In the morning, he takes a shower, and goes to work. It's like that, and I'm feeling fed up. What can I do? There is nothing we talk about, no money issue, nothing, not about the children, nothing. What can I do?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. We'll try and help you out. We've got another call. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Okay, give us your name and question or comment.
Okay, my name is Emily.
Uh-huh.
Okay, men don't take women as their own enemies.
Okay.
Men are the ones who make women to be their own enemies. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah, because, okay, let's say, for example, if your man maybe is dodging you out there, that's that makes you to be your own enemy.
Okay. All right. Interesting take there, Marilyn. Thank you so much for your thoughts. We do have another caller. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very fine. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm Penina.
Okay, Penina, go ahead.
I'm married with one kid,
Uh-huh.
and I want to ask this question. Is it true that as a woman, the word from your mouth to your friend is the one which destroy your relationship? In this, I mean, when you told your friend about my home is going this and this, my husband asked me to do this and this, then because of your friend's jealous, she's going to tell you, you just do this and this. Is it true?
Okay, yes, indeed. Classic example there of women really interfering with each other. Let's take another call. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. My name is Steve.
Yes,
I wanted to contribute about today's topic.
go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to say that, okay, women are their own worst enemies because, for example, my own wife, I have this problem with her. You find that for around 3 months, she's denying me some rights, which I know they're mine, and she's my wife. And when I try to look what the problem is, the only excuse is giving is that she's tired, she can't do this, she can't do. You see, from that I developed this attitude of, okay, there's something going out. You see, there's something going on that is. Then I have this mind. In fact, I've already set my mind to go out and look for another thing, for another woman, so that maybe I can get some good outside. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that, Piers. Interesting sentiments there. Let's start with the latest caller, Piers. A woman in a relationship has insecurities with herself. And in that case, probably she would be her own worst enemy, destroying a relationship that's quite okay. What's the problem? When you get a man and he loves you and you decide that, what then happens that you start to question that all over again and, like you were mentioning before, nagging and whinging and whining?
The communication breaks down. At some point, a lot of people live in assumption. Women live in more assumption land than men do. Okay, men will ask questions. Women don't ask questions, women assume. So as soon as a man's behavior changes in somewhat way, they start assuming, okay? Rather than ask the questions. A man could be going through work issues. A man is not like a woman. A woman brings her issues home and says, I did this at the office and blah, 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 blah. Men don't do that. Men have a different way of processing. Okay. They do their own stuff and they can talk about it 3 months later. Or they don't like to complain. So, you know, man is a man. You have to deal with stuff.
Be in control.
So if a man is going through stuff at his office, or maybe a friend of his is having an issue that he's concerned about, could be any one of many things. As soon as a behavior changes slightly, a woman goes into insecurity mode. Communication breakdown, following lack of trust, blah, blah, and the rest goes on. So, the gentleman that talked about his rights, that he has been denied, those are not rights. They're not rights in that way. This is something you develop in a relationship so that you build up to it, and when it's the right moment, you share that. It's a sharing. So if the woman is not feeling up to it, he's assuming now.
Okay, so he's turned into woman mode briefly.
Well,
there.
he's now, because they're not communicating.
Okay.
So he's not getting any responses.
Yeah.
And she's holding back. And so there's a whole lot of assumptions.
Okay.
Is she going out? So I think we have to stop all this drama and really start communicating and say, okay, what's going on? And if people are not happy in relationships, they need to talk about it. It's not going to go away.
Yes.
So people don't talk about the issues in a relationship. They're constantly waiting for something to change. They're waiting for someone to come from somewhere, hoping, praying. They're not taking any action, any responsibility in changing their relationships.
All right, that's important. Penina's married with a child and feels her best friend may be doing that. Women do that a lot. Why? Once a man is taken, suddenly he becomes very attractive to all the other females.